that all-important meeting that took place between Prime Minister and leaders from Jammu and Kashmir and it lasted for over 3 hours, remember, at his residence on Thursday. At the meeting, he spoke of removing Dil Ki Doori as well as Dilli Ki Doori. The meeting was attended by 14 political leaders from 8 parties, and Prime Minister Modi's sources close to him said that statehood would be restored, but at an appropriate time. He also urged the parties to get on board with the demilitation or the withdrawing of the assembly constituencies to enable elections in the state. He also said that delimitation has to happen so that polls can take place in Jammu and Kashmir. In fact, he tweeted a little later saying that our priority is to strengthen grassroots democracy in Jammu and Kashmir. Delimitation has to happen at a quick pace so that polls can happen and Jammu and Kashmir gets an elected government that gives strength to the development trajectory in the area. In fact, later we had Home Minister Amit Shah also tweet about it. He said that we are committed to ensure all-round development for Jammu and Kashmir. The future of Jammu and Kashmir was discussed, and the delimitation exercise and peaceful elections are important milestones in restoring statehood and promise in Parliament.
प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा कि जम्मू कश्मीर में लोकतांत्रिक प्रक्रिया से जुड़े अगले महत्वपूर्ण कदम यानी विधानसभा चुनाव की तरफ हमें मिलकर जाना है। इसके लिए डीलिमिटेशन की प्रक्रिया को तेजी से पूरा करना होगा ताकि हर क्षेत्र, हर वर्ग को पर्याप्त राजनीतिक प्रतिनिधित्व विधानसभा में प्राप्त हो सके।
Meanwhile, the National Conference leader Omar Abdullah asked why is Jammu and Kashmir being singled out for delimitation. He also said that the Kashmiri leaders want full statehood restored. The PDP leader Mehbooba Mufti said that they would struggle peacefully for restoration of Article 370.
One of the significant sort of announcements appears to have been this commitment to restoring statehood. Tell us a little bit about that. What exactly was said, and do you see that as an important first step?
Well, the Home Minister reiterated, as he said, his commitment that was made to Parliament and subsequently as well, and that was again reinforced by the Prime Minister, that Jammu and Kashmir has to be given statehood. The point that some of the people who spoke made was that it has to be complete statehood. It can't be a truncated state.
Right.
It cannot be a state which is further stripped of powers. Jammu and Kashmir will have to be a state like West Bengal is, or like Maharashtra is, or Madhya Pradesh is.
Right.
And one of the points that was made, and made quite forcefully, is that Jammu and Kashmir must have its cadre restored to it. If
Right.
Jammu and Kashmir is a state, then why should its officers come from the UT cadre or any of those other sort of setups? J&K traditionally had a J&K cadre in the IAS and IAPS and elsewhere, and that cadre should be restored.
Constitutionally, democratically, peacefully struggle करेंगे, चाहे महीने लग जाए या साल लग जाए, हम जम्मू कश्मीर में 370 बहाल करेंगे, क्योंकि ये हमारे आइडेंटिटी की बात है, ये हमें पाकिस्तान से नहीं मिला था, ये हमारे मुल्क हिंदुस्तान ने, जवाहरलाल नेहरू ने, इसमें कोई कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं होगा। इसके अलावा हमने कहा कि आप चाइना के साथ बात कर रहे हैं, मैंने उनको कॉम्प्लीमेंट किया, आपने पाकिस्तान से बात की, इन्फिल्ट्रेशन कम हुई, बहुत अच्छी बात है। और जम्मू कश्मीर में जो सख्ती है, जो पकड़ दकड़ है, जो मारपीट का माहौल है, जिस तरह से भी बात की नहीं होती है तो उसको UAPA लगाया जाता है।
You were detained for what, a year or so. The PSA was put against you. You were taken away from your family. All of that took place. We know what happened in Jammu and Kashmir. No internet, 370 went. The state was bifurcated, etc., etc. Today you were on the same platform as the Prime Minister and the Home Minister. Before the meeting started and during the meeting, what went on in your mind?
No, to be very honest, we as politicians can't afford to be personal or reflect personal pain or personal fettering of liberties that happen. It comes and goes in a democracy. It happens. And per se, I wish it had not happened, but it,
So that's
it did not
interesting.
simply enter my mind.
Sajjad, it wasn't in your mind. You're through with that detention period and you're looking at the future right now, right?
Yeah, hopefully, yes. Let's hope so.
So that's very
is
pragmatic.
A lot of pain over there, and we will have to work. And you see, you have to understand is that if we have to remove that pain, if we have to lessen the pain, there is one reality which you can't change, and that is there is a union government which is elected until 2024, and they are the only ones who can effect change on the ground. That's the reality, whether we like them or we don't. They are the ones who are the